On November 11th, 2021, I was diagnosed with COVID-19. At first, it was like a mild cold, and then I experienced increasing fatigue until it got hard to will myself to move. By November 15th, I knew the virus was attacking my lungs as breathing was getting more difficult. Still, I felt it would work its way through my system and I would be fine. On Sunday, November 21st, my wife Michelle recognized that things had progressed and not in a good way. Candidly, she saved my life on that day. She took me to a local urgent care facility. I was their first patient, standing by the door when they opened for the morning. They took me to an exam room where a doctor checked the oxygen saturation in my blood and told me I was suffering from acute hypoxic respiratory failure. Basically, my lung function was so low that it was starving my cells, organs, and brain of oxygen. As a result, they were beginning to shut down and die. Without medical intervention, I would have been lucky to survive the day. Within 5 minutes, they had me in the back of an ambulance and were rushing me to the hospital. Little did I know that I was about to start the most harrowing, overwhelming, and frightening process of my life. For the next 5 days, machines helped me to breathe while I laid in a bed attached to electrodes, IV lines, and monitoring equipment. On my 3rd day in the hospital, despite the medical team's best efforts, things had not improved. I was being given the highest level of oxygen they could give short of being on a ventilator, and still my lungs refused to accept it. Decisions were being made about moving me into intensive care from the COVID floor I was currently on. It was a dark day. Then something miraculous happened. It was as though I could feel my family and friends praying for me. I could sense all these people sending positive thoughts and best wishes my way. By midday, my lung function began to improve. The doctors couldn't explain the sudden shift or why my lungs began to allow oxygen in. 2 days later, I was in a wheelchair being wheeled out to my wife's car to head home. As I was leaving the hospital, the doctors explained that recovery would be like a roller coaster ride in the dark. There would be no way of knowing what would come next. As I write this, I have been out of the hospital for 3 weeks. I've had good days and tough days, but the ratio is moving more and more in favor of the good days. I can feel the inflammation in my lungs declining and my breathing becoming less labored. With this, my energy level is slowly coming back. I am also learning to pace myself better. It was the 19th century German philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, who first said, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." Right now, I'm weaker, more out of breath, heavily fatigued, and 23 pounds lighter. I'm still holding out hope for the physically stronger part, though. On the mental side, it has been an entirely different story. A few days after coming home from the hospital, I recognized a dramatic shift in my thought process. With this shift came the most profound positive insights regarding my mindset and psychology I have ever experienced. It was as though my brain rebooted itself. Never would I have thought that possible. Then I experienced it and I couldn't deny it. My broken brain, encumbered by fears, self-doubts, negative thinking, and limiting beliefs, had repaired itself. Suddenly, everything looked different.